Occupy Toronto has its day in court.
Mrs. Claus is coming to town for the first time ever. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's Friday, November 18th. Welcome to Humber News, coming from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Caitlin DeCary. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Dino Pasalic. Ahead on our show, we have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Caitlin has our top story.
Occupy protesters await their fate as they face off against the city to stay in the park. It was quiet at St. James Park today as the occupiers relocated their movement to the courthouse at 361 University. That's where we find Humber TV News reporter Catherine DeVeris. Catherine?
Hi, Caitlin. It's the 10th day here at the Ontario Court of Justice where Judge David Brown is hearing arguments from the city and the lawyers representing the Occupy Toronto protesters in St. James Park. The hearing started at 10 a.m., but the courtroom was full long before that. There were only 3 Occupy protesters in court, and one of them is Thomas Fitchin. He says it's important for him to be here because he wants people to know he's a living being with a soul and does not feel comfortable being represented by the system.
And some people got together and they hired some lawyers, and 5 of them are going to go in and represent all of us. But I want to go in and I'm going to go and try to speak my piece to the to the judge. I don't want to go through a lawyer. I'm going to go in there right now and try to show him my right of petition that I've written.
Fitchin says if the protesters do get evicted on Monday, he will be getting arrested. There is a strong police presence inside the building, both outside the courtroom and directly inside the front doors. One officer confirmed it was a precaution against possible violence. The lawyer representing the protesters, Susan Ursel, presented her case this morning. She says the camp is a mode of expression for the protesters, which is why an eviction would infringe the Charter of Rights. She went on to say it's essential for the protesters to be in a public place, close to the business district, because those are the institutions they're fighting. The lawyer representing the city, Daryl Allen Smith, will present his argument this afternoon. After hearing today's arguments, the judge will rule on Monday whether the protesters have to pack up their tents. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks. That was Catherine DeVeris reporting from 361 University.
The streets of New York's financial district are calm today after a swell of activity from Occupy Wall Street. Cities across the U.S. took part in the 2-month anniversary of the Occupy movement. The rally at the New York Stock Exchange got ugly. Close to 250 protesters were arrested and the police were accused of brutality. The evening numbers increased into the thousands, but the atmosphere was peaceful as the protesters marched across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Queen's University has suspended performances from its celebrated marching band. The reason? Lyrics that are offensive and demeaning to women. The band has withdrawn from performances and members must attend human rights training. The Dean of Student Affairs at Queen's says the material promotes behavior that is unacceptable. The university's band was established in 1905 and is one of the largest marching bands in Canada.
The world's largest Ronald McDonald house is opening today in Toronto. The facility is located near SickKids, Mount Sinai, and other downtown hospitals. It replaces the original house on Gerrard Street that the foundation had outgrown. The new facility contains 96 bedrooms which can accommodate 81 families, 3 times the size of the old location. It also has a common kitchen, playground, gardens, and spaces for kids programming and public schooling.
Santa Claus and the holiday spirit will fill Toronto's streets this weekend. Last-minute preparations are underway at the Parade Warehouse in North York. Humber reporter Nicole Bogart went to see what Torontonians can expect on Sunday.
Volunteers are hard at work here preparing for the 107th annual Toronto Santa Claus Parade. The warehouse on Wendell Avenue is home to countless floats, costumes, and characters who will make their appearance on Sunday. With just 2 days left to the parade, these elves will be hard at work right down to the last hour. The Santa Claus Parade will make its way from Christie Pitts past the Eaton Centre till it reaches the St. Lawrence Market. Santa will make his arrival at 12:30. Volunteer Bray Scott Lewis has been busy painting and papier-mâchéing in anticipation of the parade.
I've been here since September, but it's a whole year process for them between concept and building and then all the decorating that goes on.
There have been some changes this year to the parade. It features 26 floats, 21 marching bands, and has a new route spanning 5 miles long. Some changes were made to accommodate more complicated floats.
The harder floats to do are the floats that require really specific characters, like something like Barbie, which is behind me. Disney is pretty, not demanding, but the characters have to look exactly how they look. Like Kermit the Frog has to look like Kermit the Frog. Barbie has to look like Barbie.
This marks the first year that Mrs. Claus will join Santa at the end of the parade. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel the Christmas spirit. Nicole Bogart, Humber News.
When we come back, we'll have more news from around the country and the world. Summer Ismail will have the sports, and we'll have your weather forecast with Aaron Best.
Aside from some temporary flurries last night, we've made it to the end of another November week with no snow. We'll see if that'll continue into next week right after this.